Did you know you can have a bog garden in your own backyard? Yes, you can, but I guess you want to know, what is a bog garden? Well, here to get us all bogged down is Dina Wild, and she's our master gardener, herb specialist, and today, bog garden specialist.
Yes.
So what actually is a bog garden?
A bog garden is a situation where your plants are in a medium that's constantly wet.
Okay. So not many of our yards have that situation.
No, very few.
So we have to create it, right?
We have to create it.
Yeah.
And there are two ways to do that.
Okay.
If you have a depression in your yard, you sort of build out that depression, or you can create a depression and you add sand, you add peat moss, it's a lot of work, or you can get a container with no holes.
I know, yeah, and I carried it in. I can tell you folks, this is a heavy bog garden to bring in. So I guess the other question is, why would I want a bog garden?
Because it's so easy. Once you get your plant in the medium, all you have to do is water it occasionally.
Okay.
That's it.
So does it have any advantage? Does it invite certain plants to grow? Or?
Only plants that love the wet roots.
Okay.
Their feet have to be wet all the time.
Okay.
So there are special plants, and in fact, IFAS has a couple articles, and if people Google IFAS bog gardens, or IFAS aquatic plants, they'll get a list of plants.
Okay, now you want me to test this to tell everybody that it's wet, right?
Well,
so this is
everyone's got to know how wet this is.
This is the way that people who take care of plants, they stick their finger down
right.
like that,
yes.
bring it up. Oh, yes, that's
very
wet.
wet.
Yeah, good
job.
job.
It's got to be very wet.
Okay, so we're going to plant in this, right?
Yes, but first, before we plant.
Let's see you get your hands wet.
I will. The medium is 1/3 sand, 2/3 peat moss.
Okay.
And you put it in your container. If it's a container this size or larger, I recommend siting it in the landscape, because you're right, this is heavy.
I know, yeah, you made me carry it in. I know.
And it can get heavier. Anyway, if it's bigger. So you put in your peat moss, you put in your water, you wait about 4 or 5 days to make sure the peat moss, which takes a lot of water, that the medium is totally saturated.
Okay, let's plant it.
Let's plant. So
what do you got for us?
I've got here a swamp milkweed.
Okay.
It is a native plant. And Tom, do you see it?
I see the caterpillar.
Do you
up
see
there.
that little caterpillar?
Yeah,
Yes.
neat.
So, all right, so
it'll end up destroying my swamp milkweed.
So I tend to keep the soil around
Okay.
the plant. I don't.
Now, is this plant going to have any trouble adjusting to this
Nope.
wet conditions?
Nope, because that is its native habitat is wet.
It is really wet down in there, folks, I'll tell you.
It is very wet.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't have to water very often.
Yeah, super
You
wet.
just
You did a good job.
And want to point out to my right is
Swamp
another
hibiscus.
bog garden. I have a swamp milkweed and swamp hibiscus, right? And then at the bottom, I don't know if the camera can zoom down, is horsetail.
Oh, we can do anything. But right at the top here, there's some big buds.
Oh,
now, what color will this open up?
Red, huge red. It is a native hibiscus.
Yeah, I like this one here. It's
Yes.
really neat.
Yes.
And down at
And
the
then
bottom, you said there's some horsetail down there.
There's some horsetail,
Okay.
which is an herb.
Yeah. Now, this is in a pot right now. Is this a boggy type pot?
It is.
Okay.
It's the same thing, same medium. I water it, maybe once a month, whenever the plants tell you.
Okay.
They sort of droop a little.
Now the big question is, what other care, if we keep it, on the moist side, do we have to put fertilizer in? You don't have to do that?
No.
Where does it come from?
From the soil.
Right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Dina wanted me to be sure to tell everybody the bromeliad I have here is not a bog plant. Okay, it's my plant. But in the bog situations, you may find tillandsias and things like that in the trees.
Yes.
So there are some bromeliads can grow out
that's
there.
True. That's true.
So what other plants? We have the milkweed. We have the hibiscus.
You can do cannas. You can also do a plant called Vietnamese coriander.
And the crinum. There's a crinum that grows out there also.
I've never seen crinum.
Yeah, there's a white one.
In the water? But then you can do it.
Yeah,
and what people have to do is just walk around and see what plants are at the coastal edge or in a pond, and those are going to work fine.
Very good, Dina.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank
for being
you.
with us.
Bye.
Now you know you can have a bog situation in your yard. All it takes is a pot, some wet soil, and you can plant it and give the extension service a call, because they've got a bulletin that you can use.